What is up, friends, Takeover people, a random person coming across this video, however you're here, I'm happy to have you. Today I'm going to do a little bit of insight into one of my PC items, which if you're not already in the sports card hobby, PC stands for personal collection, and it generally signifies something that is going to stay with you permanently or for a long time or passed on through your family versus something that you're just holding on to see if the value goes up to maybe sell later. It's not that you can't sell something from your personal collection. There's no problem with that. If you need to, do so. But it just kind of is a label of like something that is meaningful to you, and it doesn't always mean that it's meaningful to others. For example, one of my personal collection items are Baltimore Ravens cards of all kinds, which includes this Scott Mitchell base card because I love anything and everything Ravens. However, this Scott Mitchell base card of a Baltimore Ravens players not really of value. You know, it's not something you're gonna sell to a standard person. On to the topic for today, though. I'm gonna talk about, honestly, probably my most favorite personal collection item piece. I used to go to the Minnesota Vikings training camp when it was in Mankato with my dad and my brother when we were younger. And, you know, we used to bring autograph booklets along and get players to sign and their numbers. Sometimes you would know who was signing. Sometimes you didn't, because it could be someone that's just going to ultimately be cut or a practice squad player. But they'd put their number next to that, and then you could check that on like the current roster online and stuff like that. And we'd make little notes about which players were which that signed on there. That was always very exciting to us. We would get, you know, random people here and there, not always people that were super notable. I remember getting guys like Jay Fiedler, who was the backup QB at that time, or fielder. You know, just random people like that, kind of wide receivers they were bringing in to try. No one super huge though. I did get Chuck Foreman though once. That was awesome. But there was one particular time at this training camp that was especially notable because I got an autograph of one of the greats when I was a child, and it was none other than Mr. Randy Moss. This was such a fun one to get because so there's a lot that goes into this. We were at the training camp, we were watching it. We happened to be in the line when they were walking to the locker room. And you know, one thing that my dad taught us was that you could ask politely for a player to sign, but like they might just want to get back to the showers. They might just want to cool down. They might just want to get ready for lunch, whatever they're doing, kind of thing. You don't hassle them or anything like that. Now, Randy Moss was getting hassled by the crowd behind us. We were up against this chain link fence, and people were yelling at him and they were asking him, yo, Randy, sign this. And then when he wasn't signing, people were like booing and like calling him names and things like that. And you could tell that he was just absolutely fed up with it. But my brother and I were standing there with our cards, and I don't even remember if we called out to him or anything like that, but he just saw these two little kids holding the cards, and he walked over and he signed he signed for us, and people were pushing and pushing when they saw him walk up, and they were pushing. My brother and I were like smashed against this fence, and I clearly remember looking up and seeing Randy Moss standing there so tall. And I'll edit it for the purpose of this video, but he was like, back the F off those kids. And he grabbed our cards and he signed them and handed them back to us. And it was iconic for me. I was in awe. I'm sure my mouth was just wide open. It was awesome. I mean, one of the greatest ever that you could get to sign anything, and we got his signature. Got it in black Sharpie on there on a Ultimate Victory card from 2001. It's just like I'm keeping this thing forever. This is not getting sold. This is not leaving me, you know. I'll probably pass it down to my kid if she wants it, kind of deal. My brother still has his too. I can't remember which card he got it signed on. I'll have to go back and look at that, but I love it. It's, you know, when we're looking at receivers nowadays too that are so good, and there's plenty of great ones. Tyreek Hill is absolutely going off this year. He's jetting towards 2,000 yards, setting all kinds of records. Justin Jefferson is, you know, it's easy to think of him when you see him in the purple for the Vikings, to think of him as in Randy Moss's footsteps. And Justin Jefferson's doing big things, paving his own career. He had a huge game yesterday, but it always kind of makes you have to look back at the greats. When you see someone doing something iconic and historical in this current season, you got to think about the guys that paved the way doing it before, and Randy Moss is absolutely one of those people. The story remains forever in my head and heart, and I love this personal collection piece. That's all for today, friends. Peace and love.